Well, it's game day in the Scottish Women's Premier League, and there may well be an Old Firm game happening in the SWPL, but this is centre stage. It's first against second. Nothing can be separated bar goal difference between the two sides, and what a game in prospect. Thank you very much for joining us for highlights. We'll have post-match analysis later on from Paul Elliott, but we're going to have the best of the action from Glasgow City against Hibernian in a moment. Looking at the team news, Abby Grant has scored 12 goals in the league, 14 in total. We're looking to add to that today in that big stage. Julie Fleeting made an appearance finally after a few niggling injuries in the Cup last week. She starts as well. Leanne Ross has ever captained the side. For Hibernian, their influential captain Joelle Murray will be a focal point in that team. Likes of Chloe Arthur and Heather Richards, the Celtic movers over the winter period, have really fitted in really well for Chris Roberts' side. Plenty of experience and youth on both benches as well. It is the hallmark of a cracking game, especially with the League Cup final earlier in the season and a 3-3 draw in the league. It's Glasgow City against Hibernian in the Scottish Women's Premier League. The referee today is Hayley Irvine, and he's got Edward McLean and Kenneth Allen alongside. A lot of space for Arnott to run on. Harrison and Richards in the box, and it's cleared off the line by McCulloch. It was Harrison up there. Cornet was coming in behind as well. There was a real threat from Hibs. Well, it's been given straight to Hayley Lauder. That Murray gets the block in. It wasn't Jenna Fife, the goalkeeper, was intending. Now Cuthbert, Hibs just on the back foot a little bit. Dogdray slips it through, and here's O'Sullivan. What a finish comes from a Hibs error, and after a little nervy start, it's taken 7 minutes for the champions to take the lead. Oh, lovely. And a play from Harrison now. Harrison goes for it! Oh, it's an absolute beauty. From absolutely nothing. And this top billing in the SWPL is delivering. Lauder comes in to help. Arthur. Now Harrison. Got a good chance here. Decides to go for goal. And it was easy enough for Alexander to hold. There was support coming. Look at this on the overlaps. Arnott all the way across and in. And Abigail Harrison scores her second. And Hibs have turned this right around. Back with Joe Love. No free kicks as the referee. Floating it towards Leanne Ross. Leanne Ross in behind. Fife with the stop. Williamson, that's fell kindly for Cornet, and now here's Arnott. Now stretching the other side of the pitch. When it slips it back, McCulloch's header over the bar may well have been crucial from Cornet's effort. Chloe Arthur's delivery. It's a free header. Conley turns and gets away from Richards. Cullick. Lauder. Doherty on the chase from the high ball. Oh, and came off Hunter and was over, and it's a little heart-stopping moment. Over the top of Smith. Sullivan! What a stop by Jennifer from point blank range. The header straight at the keeper, but that was some stop. Ramos again. Grant there. McMurtry, and it's another stop from Fife, again over the bar. Montgomery finds Doherty. Fortuitously came to her from Williamson. It's Doherty! And there is a bit of class. And what a goal. And you can see from the team celebration, it's a huge goal in the title race. Ross sees a Sullivan motoring on. Away from Hunter. Hayley Lauder coming in! And don't tell me how that one's not went in. She can't believe it. Arthur trying to bring in Richards. Doherty back. Big cheers for that bit of play. Shine battling now. Cuthbert. Great touch from Cuthbert. Still going. Erin Cuthbert! Did mention the first half she can have a rocket in it. Goal kick. Finds Montgomery, who's brought in a Sullivan. Shine. It's clear Shine on the keeper. Parries it away. Fully back across the face of goal! And McMurtry is the one that finishes off. And it's a huge, huge goal in the title race. Oh, it's in towards Hunter, and it's going to be slid in! But the flag's up. Robertson. Hunter up high, looking for Harrison. Harrison's through. Still Harrison. She's equalised. Can you believe it? It's a hat-trick for the 17-year-old, and it's a repeat of the game earlier on in the league season. Unbelievable. And it's over. What a fantastic game of football for Glasgow City. They may well feel they've thrown it away. Lisa Sullivan scoring the opening goal. They took the lead early on, but what a story for Abigail Harrison. 2 goals put Hibs in front at the break. Nikki Doherty, Lauren McMurtry with 2 fantastic efforts. Turned things right back at its head again with City with advantage. But when it looked like it's meandering towards a City win and a huge advantage in the title race, Harrison popped up again, and may I remind you, Abigail Harrison is only 17 years old, popping up to score a hat-trick and the equaliser to match the 3-3 game earlier in the season, and it means all square in the title race. It continues. What a blockbuster it will be once again, part 2 or part 3, whatever part you want to call it, when the teams meet each other in the league for the final time later on in the season, if they keep on winning against other sides. Final score in a breathless encounter in Excelsior Stadium: Glasgow City 3, Hibernian 3.
Scott, it was a great game for the neutrals, but did you deserve more?
Yeah, I think we deserved to win the game based on the overall match and the chances that were created between both sides. I think we should have taken our chances better. We had maybe 8 or 9, very good ones, and I think in a game like this against opposition like Hibs, you have to take your chances. You have to make sure that the game is killed off, and we weren't able to really kill the game off today, and that's credit to Hibs because they play with a fantastic style and openness. They counter-attack amazingly well, and they're always a threat. So we kind of knew that even at 3-2 that they would create a chance or two, and that we'd have to defend well. And obviously, them scoring as late as they did made it impossible to then come back after that.
What did you learn about your team today?
To be honest, you learn little bits and pieces after every game, but my squad are so professional and experienced that there's nothing really different that you're learning. You're maybe just getting bits and pieces that will help you as we go forward. But all in all, I have to say that after the second half performance, I'm just a bit disappointed that we couldn't close the game out.
Yeah. How important is consistency now with the challenge from Hibs so strong?
Very important. The consistency is going to be the most important thing, and we need to make sure that we keep winning games. Our goal difference is really healthy, but you're right. It's about consistently winning these matches, and I've got, I think, probably the best squad in the league to be able to do that, because they're used to winning every game. But that's not to get complacent. It's not going to be easy.
So that's the views of Scott Booth speaking to Paul Elliott, who joins me now for post-match thoughts. Paul, well, I'm just recovering my breath. How about you? What do you think of that?
I'm just recovering my breath as well. It was an amazing game. It was one of the best games I've seen in a long time. Credit to Hibs, they turned up, didn't they? They came and made a very, very good game of it. Glasgow City had to deal with a lot today, and I think all in all, 3 each was probably a decent result for both teams. City kind of let it go a wee bit at the end there. The goal just kind of came out of nothing. Nobody really seen it coming, but Abby Harrison just wouldn't let it go. She just followed it through and managed to bag her hat trick and 3 each in the end. It was incredible stuff.
Absolutely. Well, Glasgow City took the lead. Denise O'Sullivan, probably the best player on the pitch when she was on the park. She scored early on. You thought, well, here we go, is City going to take control? But maybe unlike any other team in the league, Hibs have got the quality up front, and Harrison, as we've just touched on already, scored the 2 quick-fire goals to put Hibs in front. Yeah, she's an excellent player. I've seen her years ago playing youth football for Celtic, and you could see right away that she was always going to be a great player. And it's a good team that Hibs have got. They've got lots of pace in their team. They counter-attack very, very well. And you can see that they've got their tactics spot on for the first half anyway. They counter-attacked very, very well, and they looked like scoring a few times, to be honest. City did have a game in their hands, but as you say, Denise O'Sullivan, I thought she was absolutely fantastic today. Took her goal really, really well, really good finish, and I thought she actually did a good job up front as well, running the channels really, really well. But it's just a great game overall. Well, second half, after Hibs taking the advantage at the half-time break, we did see 2 goals quick fire again from City to take things up. Now, we have seen under previous margin what happened with the Champions League when City needed goals. They did score goals, and although it was a bit quiet at the start of the second half, out of the blue, a couple of stunners. Yep, 2 very good goals. I felt like once they got the equaliser, they really started to find their feet again, and some really good football. You can see there was a bit of a tactical change as well. They were knocking the ball about the back, trying to suck Hibs forward so that it reduces the counter attack, and that worked really well for them. And for a period of time, they kind of dominated the game. Just had a bit of a sickener for them at the end with losing the last minute goal, but I think there was a lot of good things that happened for Glasgow City in that game, some good signs, and all the goals were really, really good as well. Well, Hibs did get the equaliser though, and for the last 10 minutes Courtney White came on, Rhonda Jones came on as well. Maybe a bit of a change from the old gung-ho approach, and Scott Booth decided to bring on a bit more reinforcements, and for most parts they kept the ball in the corner quite well, but a bit of a high and hopeful ball, I suppose a bit like the goal which Spartan scored here last year, which they won. A high ball up, one of those the keeper was in 2 minds, and Well, what can you say for a 17-year-old finishing off?
Yeah, she just wouldn't let it go. She just followed it through. And yeah, like you say, it just kind of came out of nowhere. I felt the game was just being closed out really well by City. They were doing all the right things, didn't really do anything wrong. Then high ball forward, and just one of these things that happens in football. Sometimes you can't just can't script this kind of thing. And hat trick for Harrison. You know, a great game from start to finish, and deserving of a hat trick, and for each, and it's still a title challenge we've got coming here from Hibs.
Absolutely, with them still all square in the table. What's your thoughts? This is the first time in person you've seen Scott Booth in action as manager here. What have you made of his game today in the first couple of weeks in charge?
Yeah, well, you can see there was a bit of a tactical change. I mentioned there that they were knocking the ball about at the back. Obviously, he spotted quite early on the counter-attack threat from Hibs, and he was talking about it in the interview there as well. Hibs are a very, very good counter-attacking team, and the tactical change of just kind of letting them come onto them a wee bit, then pulling them out, reducing the opportunity for the counter-attack. I thought that was a really good tactic, and it worked well for City in the second half. So he's obviously paying a bit of attention to the tactical setup of other teams, and it's early days for him, but I think the signs are fairly good so far. And you know, it was an unlucky goal lost at the end. That's when it comes down to it.
Final word on Scottish women's football. There's been plenty of press, there's been a bit of excitement for this top of the table clash. I mean, it's top billing ahead of an Old Firm derby, so what can you say? Final word on the Scottish women's game. I know we've talked a little bit about the post World Cup. You know, it's good for Scotland maybe as well as England. What did you make of the atmosphere and the buzz around this game? Well,
today I think was a great advert for women's football in Scotland. There's probably no better game for Sky to be here and covering, and all the press they've been here to watch the game. I thought it was an absolute fantastic game, and it must have been a great game to play in. It was a great game to watch, and I think it probably turned some more heads towards women's football in Scotland, hopefully anyway. And as well as title, you know, it's neck and neck. Hibs have made a really good competition of it. Glasgow City aren't getting it all their own way, so it's a good competition for everybody that's involved, and it's a good competition to watch, and it can only be a good thing for women's football.
Okay, thank you again, Paul, for your thoughts. Well, great game, not the result that City would have wanted, but for the SWPL title race it was a fantastic game. 3-3 match in the game earlier on in the season. We'll see you again soon. Thanks for joining us.